February. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be going over my February wrap-up. So in February I read 4 books, not great, but one of them was rather hefty. I went through a little bit of a slump this month purely because life was busy with uni and things. So I'm quite proud of getting through 4 books, so I'm now at 12 and my goal is 60. So I think I'm a 5th of the way there and we're a 6th of the way through the year. So math-wise, pretty good. So the first book that I read in February was Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I read Caraval in January so that I could continue the series. So I read Legendary next. I really enjoyed it. This is the sequel to Caraval. If you don't know what this series is, I'm not gonna give the synopsis for this one, I'll give the synopsis for the first one. Caraval is a game that takes place once a year, and it's this mystical thing. You have to get an invite to it. So we follow sisters Scarlett and Donatella, who want nothing more than to escape their lives and go to Caraval. And one day, Scarlett gets an invite for her and her sister. So they go off to Caraval and mischief ensues and it's mysterious and magical. I really loved the first book. I also quite enjoyed this book. This is the sequel, takes place from Donatella's point of view, which I found very interesting. They definitely have distinct voices and distinct narratives. So I did enjoy this book. I rated it 4 out of 5. I then, immediately after finishing Legendary, I started reading Finale, which is the 3rd and final book in the series. I think I got around 150 pages into this before I put it down. It was not holding my interest. This book, so both Caraval and Legendary take place in Caraval. You know, you've got the games and the mystery. This book isn't so much of that. This book is more in the general world. It's not specifically set in the 5 nights of Caraval. And for me, it just missed that structure. It just wasn't as magical as the others. And that was the thing that I loved about the others, was the idea of Caraval and all the magic and stuff. While it still had elements of that because it's still set in the same world, it just lacked a bit of that for me. Hopefully one day I'll read it. I think it just wasn't, I'm such a mood reader and I think I just was not in the mood for it. So for now I have DNF'd it, but hopefully in the future I will come back around and finish the series. The next book that I read in February was a romance because, you know, February, the month of romance, and that was The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This is an adult romance about Lucy and Joshua who work together and they have this hatred for each other. They hate each other. But over time, they don't so much hate each other. They have this constant rivalry and back and forth. And it's really, I did enjoy it. I think I rated this 3 stars purely because it was a bit insta-lovey and the main plot that I was interested in just got ditched. One of the plots in this book is there's a promotion that they're both going for, which I found really interesting because that comes up while they're enemies to lovers. I found that plot really interesting and I wanted to see more of that. But it was a nice easy read. I think I got through it in 2 or 3 sittings. Yeah, everything that I've said is in the synopsis, so there's no spoilers. So yeah, I enjoyed this book. It was a nice easy romance. I don't typically read adult romance. I'm trying to venture more in. So I think this was a good starter book for that. So if you're looking to get into adult romance, definitely would be one. I would say this is 18 plus, at least 16 plus. Be prepared for some adult content if you're gonna read this. The next book that I read, you might already know because I posted a reading vlog for it, is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 4th book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. The first book not following Feyre. This book follows her sister, Nesta, and her friend, Cassian. So yeah, this is one hefty book. It's 750 pages, around about, and I read it in 2 days, pretty much. All of my thoughts have already been summed up in my reading vlog for it. I think it was the last video I posted, so go check that out. I had a lot of fun making that video. Please check it out. I'm really proud of it. But once again, 16 plus at least. This one's probably more 18 plus. There's some very explicit things in here. If you don't know what the Court of Thorns and Roses series is, I'll explain the premise of the first book as to not spoil anything. In A Court of Thorns and Roses, we follow Feyre, who is a hunter and kills a wolf, not knowing the price that will take, and she is taken to the Feylands, to the Spring Court, and learns about the Fae, and there's a little romance. It's very good. Be sure to do some research on the author. There is a lot of controversy surrounding her representation, which I totally agree with, but this is one of my guilty pleasure series, especially with A Court of Silver Flames. I really enjoyed it, probably purely because I loved the other books. I think if you don't share the love for that, you might not appreciate A Court of Silver Flames so much. But overall, I would really recommend the series. Definitely try and maybe borrow it at first. She is addressing some of it. One point that I make in my reading vlog is that this book definitely addresses some of the mental health things that she has been called out on. And hopefully in future books she will address the other things. I guess we just have to wait and see. The final book that I read this month, I was very excited for it. Possibly my most anticipated standalone read of 2021 is This Is Not the Jess Show by Anna Carey. This is an ARC I won in a giveaway from United by Books on Twitter, which is really cool. Like, it's an actual ARC of like my most anticipated book of the year, which is cool. I finished this last night. Look at this cover. This cover is so cool. This book is a YA thriller following Jess, who is just living her normal life in the 90s, living, loving, and one day a device falls out of her friend's backpack with an Apple logo on it, but the first iPhone doesn't come out for another like 8 years. From the title you can tell that there's definitely something up. This is perfect for fans of The Truman Show and Black Mirror. I was really excited for this book ever since I first heard of it, because The Truman Show is one of my favourite movies. I love Black Mirror, and the most popular TV show in the world at the moment is WandaVision, so this kind of perfectly fits into that vibe. However, I did find myself disappointed. I ended up rating this 2.5 stars out of 5. I rolled that up to a 3 on Goodreads. But I think my main issue is it's so short that things just happen and there's not really any fallout or build up. Things just happen. The whole plot just felt kind of rushed. It felt like they were just trying to get through it. The plot itself though was interesting. The characters unfortunately did feel a bit one-dimensional. I definitely recommend to check this out if you are a fan of The Truman Show, WandaVision, Black Mirror, and hopefully you will enjoy it. Unfortunately, it was just not in the cards for me. I still love this cover though. It's still an ARC, which is pretty cool. So this is my February wrap-up. Not huge, but I'm kind of proud of myself. Be sure to let me know in the comments what you read this month, what was on your wrap-up. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought about them. If you want to stick around, hit subscribe, find out when I post new videos. Be sure to like, and if you want to leave a comment, go for it. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye!